Okay, I am back, and this possibly will be the last video in this series. If it is, there's lots to do, for sure. Of course, we need that big epic boss battle. First, I think I'm just gonna add a couple things, such as platforms. I don't know if there isn't a whole lot of knowledge about platforms. I thought I would put a couple in. And if I make a platform like this, here I'll show you. Right? So we have our land that goes around and does stuff. And if we have a platform, I mean, we have the classic, I'm going to hit my head against it. That's, not the most classic platform behavior. So if we add this little component, we get, and turn that guy on, of course, we get some gizmos here for using one-way collisions. And that one little guy there, as you see, you can jump through it, right? So that's how we kind of add in platforms. Right there is our, I think our raycast there might be a little off. We need to adjust those. I'm not too worried about that. It's not like I'm making some sort of super polished game right now. It's all that kind of stuff you would need to polish up. Obviously, if you're making something that's you're going to release and polish up, there's a lot of these little things you'd probably want to do. Right, so just to kind of show a little bit, I'll throw some of those out. Sure, just like that. Stick those into our land. Okay. So we're going to add a trigger, actually a 2D sprite shape. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to create an empty. I'm going to give it a box collider 2D trigger. We'll stick it, say, here. Doesn't need to be nearly that wide, but it doesn't really matter. I think we should have a way to temporarily disable and enable the player. So I'm actually going to build a little FSM here. And we're going to give it two events. Enable, disable. So here we have enable, and here we have disable. And if we enable FSM, I believe on the ecosystem there is enable multiple FSMs, which might make this a little easier or cleaner. I'm not terribly worried about it right now, but I'm just going to disable some of these. Let's do this sprint. artifact, and sure, and that's it. I'm not even going to bother putting anything in the enable portion of it. That's why I left these reset on exits on. So, for example, when we have, and normally when you come to a cutscene, like you wouldn't really just set it up on the camera because it's not very kind of larger scale friendly. So here we have, we have activate scene, and we're going to do various things. We're going to move things and fade things. So we could send an event here to the player under its disable to disable. I did not make those globals, so let's go fix that. And then we're just going to copy that, and right here, right here. We'll tell them to enable. Now we can also, on this little guy, do a trigger event 2D to the player here, and we can store the player so we can react to it, and we can send an event to a game object. And one of the easy ways I like to do, like I'm gonna use the variable, right? But to get these, obviously you can't click those. There's nothing there, right? So lots of times what I'll do is I'll tell this, okay, we're going to affect our player. And I'll drag them in here. Now I can use these, right? So to disable, but then swap that over to player. It's kind of a cheating little way, but it works really well. It kind of speeds things up. Oh, whoops. So we're going to disable the player, and then we are going to set animator bool on this guy to is open false. We are going to wait not twice, say 1.5, shift click, oh, hold down control, drop, and new, and finish. And then we are going to copy this, paste it here, and I'm going to actually just do that same thing. This helps prevent spelling mistakes. I'm sure some of you are probably like me. We're not the most educated people. So that'll allow us to disable the player. He comes in, stops the player, and this comes down. So, one of the other things I like to do, and this just makes life easy, is so we have our stuff, right? I have this folder called player. Now if I make this thing called player prefab, and I drag him under it, I take the camera and drag that under it. This is kind of a cheap way to save references, I guess you could say. So player prefab. Right. And then I can take this whole, well, no, first let's do this. Okay, set parent, because I also don't want these things parented. Oh, whoops, I did that backwards. So you become nothing, and you become, oh damn it, and you become nothing. Now I can just drag this, stick it in there, and all our references are held. Okay. So let's delete that, and take those, stick those up there. I'll take these guys, well, not the enemies, take the coins, stick them in here. Put the coins in there. Put the bushes in there. I'll stick all that in there too. We don't need to see it. So I'm going to create this thing called level, and I am going to give it a 0 position, and I am going to give it a start, and I'm going to say put the start, I don't know, say here. So on start this level, if this level starts, what do we want to happen? We have our player prefab, and we want, I'm going to throw this in because it's just a great way to avoid a whole bunch of issues I find. Don't ask me why, because I have no idea. It just takes it out of that start, and we're going to do it in the next frame. And it just seems to avoid a lot of issues. It solved so many issues for me. And I'm going to create a player prefab at the start. And we're going to do some other things like add in the coins and so forth. This is where we'll build our save and load and stuff. We'll stick it in there as well. So there is no player. So if I hit start, there we go. So now I can take this one player and I can build numerous levels and just keep using the same player prefab. Okay. In fact, if we save that, if I go new scene, we have some emptiness. Now let's create a I don't know, we'll say a couple buttons. So new game. And let's stick him, I don't know, say there. And let's copy or duplicate him, drag him down, go continue. Okay, so this, we're going to save this scene as main title. Sure. I'm going to go up to here into build settings. I'm going to add this open scene. It's scene 0. Scene 0, that's important. Scene 0 is our title scene. It doesn't have to be scene 0, but you got to know what that index value is. Okay, so I'm going to open up the other scene so then we can put, I think that was just the sample scene I was using, I don't know why. And I'm going to put this scene also in. This is now scene 1. Okay, let's open up the main title again. So if we get this guy, and there is numerous ways to do this. I could use these and have these send an event, or I can just literally make something like this and go scene, load scene succinctly, and the scene index. Which one are we on? We're on new game, so we would load number 1. We'll allow scene activation. Progress, this stuff here is great if you want to have like a loading bar. This is a 0 to 1, even though it tends to show 0 to 0.9 value. So when it's done, we're just going to go like that. And that should be fine, just like that. Let's just test it. Oh, what happened there? Oh, well, yes. That was absolutely stupid of me. Let's set that as the start state. We did not do it on the button. We put it on the button, we just didn't, link it to the button. So let's send an event. It's been pressed. Event target self. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, let's make sure that's gonna work. So new game, off we go. We've loaded into a new level. Okay, so if we're going to continue though, let's go and let's make a new object. Data manager. Give this an FSM and how do we want to do this? Let's go save global and if that's the case, get scene index name, get scene properties, path name, build index. Okay. Let's get that. valid is root is a reframe. Scene at index, path 0, yada yada yada. Set player prefs. Set an integer. So count the key is going to be saved level, and the value can be that guy. Okay, and if we load, then we want to player prefs get key once, saved level. And player prefs really aren't the best place for this type of data. It works. Player prefs are better set for settings. You know, you want to save your resolution and the sound and various little things like that. I mean, really, if you want to build a good save system, you're better off going to the asset store and picking up something like Easy Save or the dialogue system and stuff like that come with a save system that support PlayMaker. But this, for what we're doing, this is going to work just fine. So player prefs, we're going to get that int, and we are going to scene, load scene at index current level, allow scene activation. I probably don't even need the done event, but force of habit, I suppose. And that's not even a done event. Now I can't use a capital because I've put that stupid thing in there. Go away, stupid thing. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to add to this guy is just a do not destroy on load. You are permanent. You will be here always. You will be my personal stalker. I have made you. Okay, so if we continue, we are going to what are we going to do if we continue? We have a event called continue. Or no, this isn't continue. Yeah, this is continue. Continue. And if we continue, I guess in reality, all we're doing is send an event to our data manager. See that? Now, I should have named those FSMs. Do not destroy and save load. Okay, so to the save load. Alright, so player prefs should be 0. So technically, if we hit continue, it should load this exact same scene again. Right, over and over again, because it's got 0 saved in there. If I hit new game, it should load this one, and that works. Now, just to test that, let's create another scene, save this one, and we will build this, or we'll save this as level 2. Has nothing in it, so it is a boring level. But we're going to add it anyways. And let's very quickly cheat by player prefs set int, and we want the saved level. What was the name of it? Let's set that to 2. I think it was called saved level. All right. Well, either way, saved level. Okay, we've saved it into the player prefs. Let's load that guy, and let's double check. Was it called? Okay, good. All right. So in player prefs now we should have a 2. All right. So if I hit continue, where is right there? We did not get that button. Well, why not? Load the button. Load it. Okay, let's see what's happening. FSM. Oh, well, yeah. How dumb of me. I put it as a global. Okay, well, if you do that way, you could always do this. Drag that in there. PlayMaker FSM. Send event. Was that continue? And continue. There's another way you can have buttons control stuff. So continue. And we are in level 2. You can see it right there. Right? There's nothing here. Nothing's going to happen. But there we are. So if I hit new game, we go here. And we have now the basics of a save load system. And if I hit pause, you'll notice that data manager is still here. So anytime we decide to call save, he's going to get whatever we're at, and he's going to save that. Okay, so let's just go back to our, this guy, I really should rename him. Okay, so what do we have here? So this level, we really don't need to do much to it now, because when you load into it, it's just going to do its thing. Okay, well, what about this? Where is our player? And if we go to our player and we go health, here we have our health activation, so we can see it, and then we have dying, right? And dying, we do this crazy stuff. Tells the camera to stop following. But then that's it, right? Well, what if we add restart level? Actually, we should probably add a wait to that. We don't want that to happen instantly. So let's wait 3 seconds. And drag him over here. Now we could have it where instead of the wait 3 seconds, we could say we could create another variable called, say, lives, and we could from here add in subtract 1 from lives, and then int compare lives, and if it is -1, because if you have 1 you'll be at 0, so if it's at 0 or higher, we're going to restart. If it's below that, though, you would instead do this guy, right? You'd load scene 0. We'd go back to our title screen. Okay, So if you want to bring in a system where you have lives, that's kind of how you would do that. The other thing you also could add is, I totally went onto the wrong thing, is on one of these, it doesn't really matter which one, I suppose. Let's use health. There's nothing in its start. Get scene properties. We want build index, current, and set player prefs int. Move below the get properties. Saved level to current. Alright, so now at the start of this, at the start of the level, it will save this as our current level. So if we hit continue, it continues off to here. We go into level 2, it'll save that automatically when the player enters the game. To which, if we hit continue, it'll go to that level. Pretty simple way of doing that. Let's check for time. 31 minutes. Okay. Make sure we have everything else done before we do the boss. What about, we have here a canvas with health and coins. And if I was smart, I would have attached that to my player prefab. Actually, I'm kind of thinking now, is our health system working? Or do we have to relink that? That'll learn me, eh? I totally screwed that one up. Okay, let's drag him out here. Give him that. And let's apply the overrides. Okay, now let's delete that and open it up here. And let's go over here. Set parent, since I totally screwed this up. So the canvas also needs to be in here. So under health, we have damage. That's all good. That goes to the shaker. Let's do that. Getting positions, health, and these guys. The 1, 2, 3s. Okay, so full health is 1. Yeah, so 1 is the third heart. So foreground. Oh, good. I've labeled them here too. Okay, let's do that. This stuff doesn't matter. Hurt by, hurt vector, hurt self. Okay, he should be linked back up. Send event to this guy, because he's the one with coin score. Yes. And yes. Okay, I guess that's something else we need to put into the save, is the coin score as well. Because that has to transfer over. Okay, let's save that. It's now. Okay, there's a score going up. There's our hearts going down. Okay. There we go. Functional prefab. Okay, so I think that's good. music. It sucks. It would be cool if we had music. So we do need our boss. And where is he? He is there. He needs a animator. And we need to create an animator. Call this the boss. Stick him here. And bring up our animation window. And let's do boss idle. And that will be, drag those here. Play. Let's go, I'm going to go real slow with this. Not that slow, it's half frozen in time. It's a little faster than I wanted. Okay. Alright, so there's that. Let's give him a starting one. And then I think we're going to scale this guy up so he's big. Let's go 4. Real big. Big ugly toad. And we also need a jump. So click on the boss. Make sure, go to the animation. Create a new clip called boss jump. And we have, I guess we really don't have, it's only got the 2. We only want the 1 in there though. Alright, so we have him going up. Okay, and then I guess boss fall would probably be a better name for the next one. And then we'll do this one. I guess we don't have to record, we drag this in. Come over here and key in another frame. There we go. So our boss has idle, the jump, and the fall. And we'll have to give him some other things. Obviously, we'll get him to shoot things and do things. He needs a health bar. And so that is going to be his start, though. And I don't know why I do sphere. I need circle. It's hard to see against that background, eh? That's probably good. That's way too far. Okay, 0.01. Oh, wrong way. 0.0215. There we go. And we can stick him on the enemy layer. Tag him with an enemy. Okay. So let's save this for now, and let's end this video, and we'll do another video of just this guy and finish off this series. That way we don't have one real long video. I can upload this one now. Alright, so there we go. We are finishing up. Finishing touches. The boss. The epic battle. Okay. Catch you guys in the next one.